Okay, let's run.
Your mission, should you choose to accept it.
It's a quest. It's a quest for fun.
Well, The Rock says, why don't we just cut right to the chase?
Okay, now he wants to get together. Well, he wants to talk.
I want you to do me a favor. I want you to tell all your friends about me.
It's showtime, folks!
What are you?
Happy New Year. Welcome to the new season of And I Quote for the year of 2026. I am your host, Ryan of And I Quote channel, and our guest on this episode of And I Quote, which is a weekly show where we introduce you to some of the best creators from all over the world, and we find out more about them by taking your questions. Please welcome wonderful fantasy writer extraordinaire, all the way from Georgia, Hollis Jo McCollum is here. And Hollis, welcome in. Happy New Year, and thank you for being our first guest of the new year. How do you feel? How you doing?
Happy New Year. I'm feeling pretty great. I'm feeling Saturday ready. I don't know what's the terminology for that. I'm good. How are you?
We're fine. We're all fine here. No, thank you. How are you? We're shining the squad in. Anyway, that's a line from another movie.
What do you want to do? I don't know. What do you want to do?
Yes. Oh my gosh. I thought I was one of the few people who remembers the original Jungle Book from Disney. I don't know what you want to do. Now, don't start that again. It's one of my favorites.
That's one of my favorites.
Yes.
Yeah.
Baloo,
Gotta love a Beatles reference in an animation. It's good.
Do you? That's fantastic. But yes, for those of you who are new here to And I Quote, welcome in. Do not forget to like and share this with all of your closest friends. If you're watching this live or on the replay, thank you so much for doing so. And if you have any questions for our guests of honor, because Lord knows it's not me, let Hollis know in the comments or in the chat down below. We'll be more than happy to take those as they come in respectively, with the fact that both her and I like the movie The Jungle Book from the 1960s. We're talking about the original animated masterpiece from Disney more specifically. Here's what we want to do. First question, Hollis, what were some of your favorite books or writers growing up when you were a youngling?
Ooh, so my favorite series, because we have to go there, was the Dragonlance series, with the original trilogy started by Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman, who are fantastic authors. And Dragonlance was based on D&D campaigns, actually, for those of you who don't know. It's fantastic. It's wonderful fantasy. The original books were published in the 80s and into the 90s, and I still have one of my bookshelves behind me here. I've got 3 bookshelves. One of them is entirely just filled with Dragonlance books. So yeah, read those if you love fantasy, or yourself. Honestly, they're excellent.
You're the second person to mention that in the last couple of weeks, because Ryan Null, who's also a fantasy writer, he mentioned Dragonlance as well. So that's funny. There's now 2 writers I know of who've mentioned Dragonlance. So
if you talk to Richard Fierce of the Dragon Rider series, he's an amazing author, but Richard Fierce and I also we love Dragonlance. So yeah, we chat about that at the cons.
Maybe I need to talk to these fine folks about dragons and lances and all this other stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll wait and see. 2026 has only just begun, so we could have them here on the next episode. Who knows?
Yeah,
anything is
possibly.
Yeah, anything is possible, my dear. With that being said, what would you say were some of your favorite TV series growing up? Any favorites stand out?
Ooh, okay. So I was more of a movies kid than a TV series kid. I liked the original Ghostbusters, and I'm an 80s kid, so My Little Pony, Ghostbusters. I loved David the Gnome, with a lot of cartoons in the 80s. But honestly, Goonies, Labyrinth, Neverending Story, The Dark Crystal, let's just, all of that, The Princess Bride, the films, that was where my jam was. I also was big into Watership Down, which is a political allegory as told through animated rabbits, and it's very bloody, and I saw it far too young. But I loved it, and my parents couldn't take it away.
They can't take anything away from us. It's childhood, folks.
They saw cartoon bunnies. They thought it was safe, and then they walked in the room, and they saw bloody fascism as demonstrated by rabbits, and they were like, she's 4, but she's not screaming. Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say there were no reruns of Peter Rabbit back then. I
I
guess
mean,
not.
there were, but I got a little bored with certain stuff. I went straight from like C Spot Run to adult books. Like I skipped the whole like young adult genre for the most part.
I mean, hey, at the end of the day, it's as you wish.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's right.
yeah, yeah, you're on the Blood Squad. So
I am the Brute Squad.
I know, right? Oh, goodness gracious. Boy, that film's been around for a while. Yeah, Princess Bride, we're looking at you.
Mm.
So when did you start writing?
Technically when I was in middle school. So, I mean, like many writers, I was writing little short stories. I actually won the 8th grade like school-wide contest, and it went to county for a short story, which was pretty cool. I didn't win county, but I won the school. And yeah, but I wrote my first book in 8th grade, and it's still in some of my Rebellion notebooks, and I've read it. It is coherent. And it was fun, but heavily based in the Dragonlance world, and it will never, ever, ever be published. But it is something that I've been doing for a while. I didn't publish my first book until 2017, though.
2017. That's an interesting number.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what would you say are some of the rewards about being a writer?
Self-expression. Honestly, self-expression. I really love just being able to share what's in my brain and release the crazy, as it were, but also connecting with people. I'm quite extroverted, as you may be able to tell. And I mean, I like my alone time, but I'm really good with the peoples, and I love meeting new people and chit-chatting and sharing. And being a writer and going to events, I get to meet so many cool people, and like Ryan here, and hang out and just learn about their stories. And that is so much fun. That is so much fun. And we all nerd out together because we're all nerds.
She's not wrong, because prior to us going live in front of you, who may be watching and listening to this episode of And I Quote right now, we were just jabbing it up about different properties, different stories, different genres that we enjoy, whether it's reading them or watching them on different television series or movies or different types of programming. Do not get me wrong. So yeah, hence the reason why we may or may not have started just a bit late, but when you're hanging out in that green room and the coffee's flowing, the donuts are free, the treats are hanging out, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria, you tend to just kind of lose track of time, Hollis. So
that's okay. That's what it's for, for the sake of puppies and Christmas and
I mean, well, I know we're past it, but I'm just curious. Do you have a favorite holiday film that you watch every year with your family or just by yourself?
Not so much. We used to watch A Christmas Story when I was little. That was kind of my dad loves It's a Wonderful Life. But we didn't watch it that often.
Really?
Us kids were always way more into the comedies and the actions.
Was Christmas Vacation one of them?
We watched it a couple times, but not so much. No, but we did watch it. We weren't Christmas movies weren't a big deal for me, to be completely honest. I would just be like, so cool, when can I watch Labyrinth again?
Did you say hello? No, I said hello, but that's more or less.
Yes, and I actually reference the worm in one of my books.
Do you?
Yes, I have in Terra in the World. There is a little, because another word for dragon or serpent is worm with a Y, right?
Okay.
And there's a little, and I take it from Scottish mythology as well, because I name him Linton because of the Linton worm from Scottish mythology, blah, 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 blah. But anyway, the characters run into them. Actually, they're an immortal creature, so they have no gender. And and at some point, in a lovely little Scottish brogue, they're like, what are, they're like, oh, are you a dragon? He's like, no, just a worm. And then moving on. But I couldn't help myself.
Gee willikers. It's funny. I saw that movie long after the fact, because the first time I saw Jennifer Connelly was in that indie film, The Rocketeer.
Oh my gosh, that was
And
such
The
a big deal.
Rocketeer, believe it or not, Hollis, turns 35 this year.
I
Yes.
do believe it. I saw that in the movie theater. Yeah.
Did you?
Oh, yeah.
Wow. I didn't. I missed out on that part of the train. I didn't see the train come through until it came out on VHS. But it's still a fun movie to watch nonetheless.
I actually now I'm inspired to rewatch it because I haven't seen it in several years, and it was so fun, and it was a big deal for like a moment,
Mhm.
and then it just sort of flew away, if you will.
Just like the jetpack did, yeah.
Yeah, right.
You know, what? A rocket. Yeah. Like in the comic books. Dude, the fact that Timothy Dalton can go from playing James Bond 2 years prior to that in License to Kill, all right, James Bond, and then he goes and plays, a Hollywood star that's masquerading as a, spy for a certain thing we won't discuss, but still, it's like, wow, talk about range for Timothy Dalton because he just knows how to kick tail in one genre and do the same thing in the other while being charming all at the same time.
A lot of actors are like that, and they don't call them triple or quadruple threats for no reason.
Timothy
It's
Dalton being one of them.
oh yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Neville Sinclair. It's your move, Eddie. Happy Valentine's Day. I mean, just the way he talks in
He's
that
got a
movie.
range.
He-
Yeah.
Does he ever? Does he ever? And Timothy Dalton, we salute you, sir. Great actor, great talent. And hey, you were a good 007 for your time. You were way ahead of your time. I think that's why certain people weren't ready for it yet, because you paved the way for what Daniel Craig would give us in 06 with Casino Royale. But
Oh, yeah.
still, you made sure that Daniel Craig could run while you walked. So it's okay. We get it. It's fine. Or is it the other way
Sometimes
around?
you gotta be the
Whichever.
stepping stone.
It was a stepping. Yeah, you're right. It was a stepping stone. So yeah, The Rocketeer turns 35, which we will be doing a movie watch along here on And I Quote channel. For those of you who are new to this channel, we do these things called movie watch alongs every Friday night at 7 o'clock Eastern, where if a movie turns a certain age, you're basically watching us watch the movie, but you are more than welcome to watch that movie that we speak of from the comfort of your own home. And we give out timestamps every couple of minutes just to let you know where we are within the film. So if you want to queue up your copy on physical media or a streaming service, you can do so and watch the movie and commentate along with us down in the chat. So,
very cool. That's awesome.
And we will be doing that for The Rocketeer in 3 weeks.
And you have a lot of movies turning 40 this year, because 1986 was a huge year for film.
I'm trying to think. We have the schedule, and I'm trying to think of what movies we have from 86 that we have listed on our respective docket, because we can't do all 50 billion movies that turn a certain age this year, of course.
Well, no, but like you had like Howard the Duck, you had the Aliens, you had
Aliens. We do have an anniversary watch along planned for Aliens because it's my favorite of the series.
Okay, all right. The Short Circuit film.
I was always partial to Short Circuit too, because I watched that one first before I saw the original.
Oh, well, that's another one on your we were discussing in the green room. You watch things out of order. That's
Short Circuit. That's funny. Hey, laser lips. Your mama was a
yeah.
Sorry. Sorry. If you have youngins in the room, you may want to take them out when I just said that. But still, that one came out in 86. I forgot about that. So Short Circuit came out in 86. What else came out? Do you remember? Anything else?
Labyrinth.
We weren't planning that, but you know what?
Gotta do the Labyrinth. I mean,
well, you have a situation. You have a thing yourself called "I Do What I Want."
I do.
So if you want to do a watch along on your channel or your podcast, and you want me to be one of your co-hosts, let me know and I'll jump in on there with you and we can talk Labyrinth. That's fine.
We can do that. Yeah. Or honestly, for some of my panels at some of the conventions that I'm coming up with, I'm actually doing a little like, how well do you know your 1986 blockbusters watch along? Oh, Flight of the Navigator was also an 86 film. And
wow.
Yeah, Mac, come on.
Here's the problem. I'm familiar with it, but I have never seen it.
Oh, Fred Savage and the little alien. Oh my God. You would love you would really enjoy that. That's a good film. That's a fun film. He's
I
like
don't think it was Fred Savage.
I think it was alien and he keeps coming to it. Yeah, it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing.
I don't think Fred Savage was the lead in that though.
I believe maybe I'm wrong about the lead.
It was a young actor who looks like Fred Savage.
Yeah, I might be wrong about Fred Savage, but it is a boy, a young boy.
I know. Yes, we're aware of that. But yeah, Fly the Navigator came out in 86. What else came out? And boy, this is getting fun, folks. Anything else came out?
Oh yeah, no. Well, I had a list. I think those are the ones off the top of my head for now. But yeah, I have a list because like I said, I'm doing panels where I have like a little game show and I ask people certain questions about 1986 blockbusters.
Really? You're a game show host as well? Is there anything you don't do?
Just for panels, though.
Okay.
I do have a sequin jacket standing by just for funsies.
I just, oh my goodness. Can we get Gene Rayburn? Can we get Gene Rayburn to come back and host Match Game? That would be fun.
That would be fun. Yeah.
Watch reruns of that on Game Show Network.
I'm great at gesturing too. I can do some Vanna. I can
okay. Here's the thing that we spoke about a little while ago. Hollis, when they were talking about Pat Sajak stepping down of being the host from Wheel of Fortune, I thought this is my shot. This is my chance. But when they announced that Ryan Seacrest was, I'm like, whoa, you didn't get the right Ryan here, guys.
Oh,
you got the wrong one. You should have called me and not.
This guy has like 50 jobs already. Ryan Seacrest,
he has 30,000 hosting gigs. Why does he need another one? I thought to myself,
he's
look,
busy.
I've been to South Carolina. It's a wonderful state. Myrtle Beach is a wonderful area where Vanna is from. And I don't mind. I mean, granted, she just, the studio's not down there, of course, but it's, Sony Pictures in Hollywood. But still, I don't mind, moving and shooting episodes of Wheel of Fortune every day because, like Hollis said, you get to meet new people every day. I don't mind that personally.
Plus, you'd learn things, puzzle solving.
Yeah. So why didn't you call me the real Ryan and not that fake one out in, whatever. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. You know what is here is this great episode of And I Quote with Hollis Jo McCollum, who's a talented woman extraordinaire. Do not forget to like and share. If you have any questions, let us know in the comments, let us know in the chat. So on the flip side of the coin, though, Hollis, what are some of the challenges about being a writer? Time to write. That's my number one challenge. I organize my time really well, but I have a full-time job still. I work from home. Yay. I'm also a board member for Carnegie Writers, and I do some other things. And I actually, after this, I'm going to a photo shoot with my collaboration partner. But it's just time, and to find the time to write the books and plan them. And I do all my own designs and page layouts as well. So then I also have to do that. But high levels of organization help with that. Yeah, that's very key. Yeah, I was one of the most organized people in my school when I was younger. You know why? Because my students would keep coming to me, classmates would keep coming to me, be like, "When's this quiz happening? When's that assignment due?" I'm like,
"Yeah.
Let me look at my book here. The assignment. It's like, well, if you took notes and actually wrote down these dates in the student agendas that they give you at the beginning of every school year, you would understand.
Or even maybe generally pay attention. That's cool. You can use the old memory banks and just remember what the teacher said also. But
it's free of charge. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
so stop looking to me for all your bloody answers. I know. Stop looking to Hollis and I for all the answers, please. We're not the answer key, folks.
No, I was voted group leader against my will since preschool, and
really?
I never wanted to be, but I was always group. I just have that energy. I'm highly organized. I remember. I have a near eidetic memory. My mother had me tested, and I'm like, so people are like, "You'll get things done." I'm like, "Yeah, but I don't want." Okay, fucking fine. God, and yeah.
Wow, so you were the Zordon of the Rangers. You were the Gaia, the spirit of the earth to the Planeteers in Captain Planet. I don't know if you remember Captain Planet.
No, I don't need another job. No, I know. I don't need to lead again. Honestly, I'm a board member for Carnegie Writers, which is a writing group in the Southeast through 5 states. They're great, wonderful writing group, serves the community, beautiful. I'm tired. And I actually tried to leave, and they were like, "No, we want you." And I was like, okay.
Yeah. Sometimes Hollis and I aren't as young as we once were, so we need more rest as we get a bit older. I'm just, just throwing it out there for you, girl.
I also would like to spend some more time just petting my cat and watching crime documentaries sometimes.
Okay.
I would appreciate that. Yeah.
We saw your Instagram post about eating a giant bag of popcorn with face mascara on your face and your hair tied back in a bow. I'm like, oh, okay. So this is what writers do on their off season. All right.
Yeah. This is. I don't get to. I get maybe like 2 to 3 hours of television time a week, and with all because I have a 72-hour work week with all things considered, and but I do enjoy rewatching classic nerd films that I enjoy, and if it's not that, it's probably true crime.
I was always a fan of Forensic Files myself.
Oh yeah.
You ever see Forensic Files? You've seen it, right?
Oh, I've seen the entire series.
The entire series, all of it, from front to back. Wow. I will say this.
I was around when it premiered.
Oh, okay. She's that young, fans. She's that young. But you know what? That theme song, down, 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 down. You know what I mean? Like that whole synthesizer piano, whatever it is. It's just or electric guitar.
I
whatever,
remember when Unsolved Mysteries premiered as well. I love Unsolved Mysteries. That's always fun.
Wow.
That was something my family watched. Actually, we didn't really do Christmas films, but we watched Simpsons and we watched Unsolved Mysteries. And when we got a little older, I was allowed to watch Forensic Files, even though I was watching it without them knowing for a while.
Oh boy, you know, sometimes they say rules are made to be broken, Hollis. So you just broke the rules and they broke the mode when they made you, dear.
I'm the youngest of 3. They weren't watching me as closely.
Wow, I'm the youngest of 3 as well. Holy cow.
Hey,
yeah, I'm the
high
cub.
five.
I'm the cub. Yes, I am the cub in my family. I have 2 older brothers, so I grew up with 2 older brothers.
Oh no, yeah, I've got a brother and a sister.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, the third child, the youngest of 3, is a whole different kind of self-sufficient. We are not the baby that everyone.
Right.
The youngest of 2, yes, that's a baby. The youngest of 4, that is also a baby. The youngest of 3, and they have done studies on this, not a baby. The youngest of 3 is one of the most self-sufficient individuals you will ever meet, and that is a proven fact through psychological studies. I've read them.
Maybe that's why I was so organized and good at getting my homework done when I was in school. So maybe that's one of the reasons, because I was so good at it. Who knows? I got awards for it, which was cool. I got what are they called? Superlatives, I think it was called.
Oh yeah.
So I got one of those when I was what year was this? This was middle school, I think it was.
Okay, so that would be
I was like seventh or eighth grade.
13.
7th or 8th grade. So I was like 13, 14 years of age at this time. Which, that's going back a few, but still I digress. That's interesting.
That's how cool we are. We like
we're the cool kids.
Yeah. Party, we're taking orders at the table and bringing people their drinks. That's what we do.
We're the cool kids. Long live the revolution. On the flip. Boy, what a way to kick off 2026 with 30 fun facts between Ryan and Hollis and how much we have in common. Good Lord. It's almost as if this was written in the stars. So I don't know. Maybe it was fate. Maybe it was destiny. I don't know.
Are we going to start seeing the scroll of in a galaxy far, far away? Like
probably what are we going to see? The opening crawl? Is that what Lucas called it? Yeah, the opening crawl, fellas. That's what we're going to see.
That classic.
Yeah.
Everybody knows what it is.
John Williams comes in with his big, symphony orchestra, right? John Williams, we love you. Keep doing what you're doing, man. The guy's pushing like 105 and he's still kicking. So well done, John Williams.
Hey, he's doing what he loves and he does
it
well.
He's the GOAT. He's the GOAT. He is the greatest that ever lived for a reason. So thank you, because for those of you who are watching or listening to this right now, welcome to that quote. Don't forget to like and there I go. Don't forget to like and share if you're watching this live on the replay. Thank you so much for doing that. If you have any questions for someone who's not me but Hollis, let us know in those comments. Let us know.
It doesn't have to pertain to writing. You can ask us what our favorite colors are. That's cool.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I'm wearing it. My favorite color is blue. Hello.
Hey, nice.
Blue's awesome.
It is. I wholly agree. I like blues and greens and that kind of That's where my jam is.
This is actually my brand new quarter zip sweater.
Very nice.
Yes. Yeah, I think it's very dashing, debonair, So.
Yeah. Can't go wrong with a quarter zip. You can be a little warm or a little relaxed, whatever.
Relaxed. And underneath this, there's a t-shirt that says, "So many books, so little time." That's what it says on this shirt. You can't see it because, like I said, the quarter zip sweater is covering it. But it says, "So many books, so little time."
Not wearing my shirt that says "Get Lit" with a book on it.
Wow, that's the first time I've ever heard. I mean, I know the phrase, but like for saying that, that's the first time I've ever heard it expressed that way. I love this show. You know what else I like? Here's a question that's going to blow everybody's mind. So for this one, Hollis, I'm just curious. I'm just curious. What advice would you give to aspiring writers out there?
Honestly, just get it out of your head. Stop overanalyzing it. The first draft is the first draft for a reason. Just write your story. Don't edit in the first draft. Just write it down. Just write it down. Who cares if there are plot holes? That's what editing is for. And once you get it out of your head and you stop overthinking the download process, everything will become so much easier. That's my best advice. Oh, also, if you get stuck, change the weather. Works 100% of the time. I don't care what genre you're writing. It works in poetry. And I have that from my award-winning poet friend, Sarah Aaron. She was stuck in a poem. I said, change the weather. And she said, God damn it, you're amazing. And it worked. So yeah, those are my 2 things.
There you go. Simple and to the point. Mic drop. You know.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Honestly,
we don't have
changing the weather every time.
Okay.
Every time.
You know, I prefer sunshine and rainbows compared to the snow, depressing, cloudy season we got over here in the Northeast United States, which I'm sure Georgia has been experiencing its fair share of cloudiness too.
Well, we're a little cloudy and rainy today. It's chilly, but we're
sorry.
not, snow is not an always, though I always cross my fingers for it because I enjoy the snow and I work from home, so I don't have to drive in it. I know how to drive in it, but most of the other people in Georgia do not. And so I don't like to drive in Georgia in the snow.
I have to keep that in mind.
No. And there's no road services for snow here. There's no budget for it. So
Really?
it is slick, which is why people you just shouldn't drive in the South if it snows because they do not salt the roads. They have no equipment for that.
I'm terribly sorry to hear that, but great stories and great books have been published outside, inside and outside the state of Georgia. I'm just curious though, to save a world, what exactly is to save a world, and how did this all come about?
That was a D&D campaign. that I played with my best friend. The book is dedicated to her. Her name is Ashley. And the first episode of my podcast, I Do What I Want, she and I talk about the book versus our game. So I got my bestie in the first episode of I Do What I Want. I love it. I just was I was sitting around that particular campaign had been just one of the special ones. If you role play and do all that, sometimes there's one that really sticks with you. It super resonates. And there were things like we had a witch turn our characters into kittens and they had to figure out that did not end up in the book, but it was so hilarious to play out. There were inky paws involved. It was fun. I actually watched a movie about Jane Austen one day in 2008, Becoming Jane with Anne Hathaway and James McAvoy, which is really, really good film if you enjoy those kind of period pieces. And for whatever reason, after watching that film, I was super inspired to write. And I just sat there, and I have all these gorgeous leather-bound journals that I collect like we all do because they're so pretty. And I was like, and then I just said, you know what? And I sat down. I picked up one of my gorgeous journals and I said, let's put this to use. And I started writing it. And that's it. And I originally didn't intend to publish. But then my family and friends read it and they said, publish or we'll kill you. And I said, okay, options. So here we are. And now I have a trilogy because after I published it, people who I didn't know started messaging me saying, and then. So I have a series now.
Yes! Hell yeah! Hey, come on, baby! Come on! Yes! Come on! Ah! Yes! Yes!
That's dynamite. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Jesse and Walter, they agree with you. So well done.
Well, thank you. Yeah. And it's just kind of been that way ever since. And I always loved writing so much. Like a little writing monster, but and drawing and everything. I'm not the best artist, but I love to do it. People are like, oh, you're great. And I was like, no. I'm prolific, not fantastic. So keep that in mind. I just really love to do it. And people say I'm better than average. It's like my singing. I am not tone deaf. Compliments. But yeah, I'm of the generation, a late Gen Xer, early millennial, Zennial, whatever you want to call me, whatever. Right. And I'm of the generation that I was told that creative fields were not real jobs and that I needed a real job. So I was an immigration officer for a little while. I, taught English in the Czech Republic to business professionals. I have a history degree. I'm technically a historian. I'm a low key historian because like I'm published 7 times outside of university and da 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 da. But then I went into private sector, did project management for a few years for design and branding agencies. And then finally I published the book and I realized, oh, wait a minute, I can do this. And And once you have that awakening, nothing stops you. And I wish I didn't take so long to get there.
Well, better late than never. And the other thing is, and you remember, I think you may have heard this before in the teaser trailer that came out some years ago for this movie. There has been an awakening after the Force did awaken 10 years ago last year. So if
That's
the Force can awaken after being, long dormant for 10 years after what happened with Revenge of the Sith, that never happened.
We don't talk about
no, we don't. But you had an awakening within you, kind of like the Force awakened. So well done, young Jedi. Well done.
Thank you. I feel the power. I feel, like Samuel L. Jackson level Jedi. That's where
Mace
I am.
Windu. Yeah.
That's where I am.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, because he's the only Jedi who got to pick his own lightsaber color in those movies. Everyone else had to either go with green or blue.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, that's what happens when you're Sam Jackson, aka Julius from Pulp Fiction. You get to choose, what you want and all this kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger. So.
Well, and what are all these snakes doing on this? And I'm not sure how much I can curse on this show.
We try to keep things family friendly around here, but yes,
on this
I've had it with these blankety blank snakes on this blankety blank plane. Yes, gosh, man, that was I thought that movie was going to be so much better than what it was. I mean, it had its moments, yeah, but I just thought it was going to be something a bit different than what we got. But whatever.
No, I was in for the kitsch, and it gave me the kitsch. I was like, all right, I'm here. I'm here for the silly.
Snakes. I don't know.
Snakes on a plane. Yeah. Snakes on a plane. It's kind of like the 8-Legged Freaks movie. It's fun.
David Arquette. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's a fun film. Don't think too much about it. It's cool. You're there to just revel in the ridiculousness.
I thought I was the only one who remembered 8-Legged Freaks, but apparently I'm not alone in this camp. Okay.
No.
That's interesting. Well, congrats on this series. It sounds really cool.
No, thank you. Yeah.
As one might say, have there been any special memories for you from being at book signings or other events, whether you're there as the vendor or there as the attendee?
Well, there are a lot, actually. One of the most special, though, is I have a character in the second book in the trilogy, The Queen Witch, that I introduced. Her name is Tanya. She is a young wizard. And I actually write her as Ace or asexual. I don't call her that at all. It's a fantasy world. They don't have those terminologies that we have. And I never have her talk about it at all. But I just, in my head, that's what she is. And she's super cool. She's very powerful. She's hyper intelligent. She's just obsessed with the magic in a very, very positive way. And I love it. And I had a girl, and Tanya is the character is Black. And I had a Black girl come up to me at one of the events, and she just kind of walked up and she had the Queen Witch in her hands. And she said, "Is Tanya Ace?" And I said, "Yeah." And she went, "Me too." And then she just said, "Can I hug you?" And I was like, "Oh my God." It was so sweet. And it made me so happy because it was just such a warm, beautiful moment. We talked for a while and I absolutely loved it. And I was just writing the character. I wasn't trying to pander to any audience. I write the characters as I imagine them. But it was so beautiful to know that she felt so seen by that character. And she is a main character in the series now. Like she was introduced in the second book, but she's also a main character in the third book and will continue to be so throughout the Raashan series. Because I love writing Tanya, and I've, in the third book, you learn more about like her family and her sister and all those sorts of things, who is a real person in my life. Tanya's sister in the book, Taylor, is my waxer, who I'm very good friends with. So yeah, but it's that moment in particular always stands out for me because it really shows how, without even trying, writers can show people things that they were needing. We can sort of accidentally provide the validation or just recognition that people who are stumbling around through their lives feel unseen with. And that's really beautiful. So that moment is just gorgeous to me. I love that one.
Well, that's wonderful. Congratulations on that. That's fantastic.
Thank you.
Yeah, that really is. Just out of curiosity, though, where do you see indie authors or indie publishing going in the next 5 years? Think it's going to continue to grow or evolve, or think we're going to put Pinky in the brain and finally take over the world, or what do you think is going to happen?
Oh, we're taking over the world. It's the same thing we do every night.
Same thing we do every night, Pinky.
But in genuine, like, yes. Yeah, I think traditional publisher is going a bit of the way of the dodo, if you will. It's because indie authors, we realize how to do it now. And we didn't need them all along. And all we have to do is be willing to put in the effort. That's it. There's a learning curve and it's a lot of work. But we keep our royalties. We keep all of our rights. That's the big thing. The creative rights. Huge. The stories are told the way we want the story told as the author. Because when publishers purchase, dependent on contract, yada, yada, generally speaking, when a publisher, especially if you are an unknown author, people like, John Grisham or whatever, of course they have a lot of creative control. But if you are not famous, if you are generally unknown, they can take so much out of your story and change so much about your story because the publisher owns the rights to your book. You do not own the rights to your book. Also, traditional publishers will say, okay, well, here's 50 grand. Here's your payout, da, 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 which again, like upfront, fantastic. And as an author, sometimes that's more money than the book will make. Fair, granted. However, the opportunity to make far more money is an indie as an author, if you can do it. I'm not at 50 grand yet. I'm trying. I'm trucking along. Every year I'm actually making better progress. So woo. But yeah, the creative control, just the licensing control, having my own copyright, big huge deal, and not having, because even now you get a payout right up front, which sounds great, but it's that bird in the hand situation. No. I don't think so, and maybe just because I'm a control freak, but it's traditional publishing serves the greed of the publisher. It does not actually serve the writer or the reader community as a whole, because they also get to gatekeep that author and decide where they go and what they do. As an author who does my own publishing, I have an indie publisher. My friend Sarah Aaron, who I mentioned before, she started a press she's in New York, so it's a New York press, 21 Chieftains Press, and it's all indies, but we have like our little indie conglomerate and it's absolutely wonderful. But we all have the copyrights to our own books. We all do these things. It's just that we all kind of like have the aid and support of the publisher as part of it, because it's just like our little like gang, I guess, our little reader gang. But it is better because we don't gatekeep. We get to do what we want. And I think that is most important.
Well, it's true what they say. Teamwork does make the dream work, right?
Oh, you took it there. I might as well say caring is sharing.
Yes, sharing is caring, kids. But still, teamwork does in fact make the dream work.
Mm-hmm. It does. It
does.
It
out there.
And it's I just I tried traditional publishing.
Mm-hmm.
I never was, but it's slamming your head against a brick wall endlessly just to get noticed
Mm.
as well. If you go the route of traditional publishing, on average, it takes you 7 to 10 years to get published. Average.
That's too long.
Yeah.
I'm only gonna stay this young for so long. I mean, one of these days I'm gonna be old and gray, turn into Sean Connery from Last Crusade, and then I'm just gonna start, slapping dudes who speak ill will of certain things, or two selfless martyrs. Gee whiz, that's for
That
blasphemy.
that I was about to say that does just sound like an excellent retirement plan, though. I mean,
I could travel around the world and get myself in a little bit of trouble, and then pop my head out of a tank and say, "You call this archaeology?"
And don't forget your Charlemagne.
Yeah. Don't forget your Charlemagne, but let's not forget the other too. The pen is mightier than the sword. See what I did there?
Yep.
Marcus. Where's Marcus? Wait a minute. You said he would got a head start, blend in, disappear. Are you kidding me? I made that up. Marcus got lost once in his own museum. Got lost in his own museum, huh?
Oh, yeah. I always related to that line as a child,
Which
because when
one?
you said he got lost once in his own museum as a little kid, I remember thinking, yeah, I'd do that. It would just be lovely. Just wandering around in the museum. You get so enthralled with everything around you. Yeah, I could get lost. Go, Marcus.
Would you get lost in your own museum like Marcus did, or?
Probably not. I'd probably still know where I was.
Okay, because I was going to say, if you had that room, or what was it called, the castle that Belle had with all those books in Beauty and the Beast, I thought to myself, you know what? 20 years ago, I would have said you were crazy, but now that I've become more of a bookworm than I ever was when I was a kid, I'm thinking to myself, this is heaven right here. I would rather just be in this room with all these books and just read up on things, because when we're doing this, the looking at your phones, looking at our tablets, looking at computer screens, which, don't get me wrong, it's needed for certain businesses, certain properties, and all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, do you really think we want to end up with cell phone neck when we're 80? No, I want my head to be facing forward and whatever else. And then if I have a desk where, by the way, you can buy these on the interwebs, folks. They're called book stands. These things that can turn 360 and they can be like this.
Also, the shelf is awesome too.
Oh, really? Oh, is that what it is?
Okay. Yeah, these are 3 bookshelves against my wall.
Oh, yeah. So it's a precursor to what you're going to get when you get it just a tad bit, when you find the whoever it is and they bless you with a castle and they're like, hey, I got something for you. You got to close your eyes first. And then when he opens up the curtain and opens up the doors, okay, now. And then you just look at all the books and you're like, I've never seen so many books in all my life. Do you like it? Yes, it's yours. Maybe one day that'll happen to us. I don't know.
I'm going to build one myself. That's part of the dream house. I think but not necessarily that, but I do require a rolling ladder or 5 as well. It's really important.
Rolling, like the one that's in that little bookstore that she's in when she's like,
you got to have because if you don't have a rolling ladder, are you even successful? I'm sorry. I'm not. That's the measure of success, is how many rolling ladders in libraries,
That's a good question. What I'll borrow this one, but you've read it twice.
So I'll read it 10 more times.
I mean, I haven't done this yet, but there are certain books that I've read within the past couple of years that are on my Goodreads list, where I list all the books that I've read, and I write all my reviews for those books that are non-spoilery, by the way. So don't give it. So when I look at this list, I'm thinking to myself, you know what? There's definitely, maybe not all of them, right? Maybe not all of them, but there are definitely a select few. I would say to myself, yeah, I would totally read these again because of how good they were. The Snow series by our good friend Bobby Nash. What's up, Bobby? We love you, brother.
Hey, Bobby.
There's, let me see, what was another book I read that I really, really enjoyed? I'm trying to think of what it was. Master and Apprentice by Claudia Gray, which is about the relationship between Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan before the events of Episode 1 of The Phantom Menace. Yeah. Claudia Gray is a masterful storyteller. She is a badass mamma jamma. Let's see, Master and Apprentice was very good. Dark Disciple was very good by Christy Golden. I don't know if you're familiar with Christy Golden or anything, but that was a good Star Wars one-off. Trying to think, what was the other one? Oh, yeah. Lost Stars by Claudia Gray. That was just, I
haven't read that one.
Okay, Lost Stars is, once again, written by Claudia Gray. It's set within the context of the Star Wars galaxy. And it's about these 2 youngins. One is fighting for one side, the other one's fighting for the other, and they got to figure out, how do we kind of coexist here? How does this work? And there's a bit of a lovey-dovey situation between the two of them. So are they going to stay in love? Are they not going to stay in love? It's got a mixture of everything you love about Star Wars and then some thrown into the mix for good measure. But I won't reveal one of the biggest spoilers of this, but let's just say that the way it's set up is just so good. So if you go and read the book called Lost Stars, written by Claudia Gray, also it's called Star Wars Lost Stars, because, sometimes they have the,
Oh, right. Yeah.
Like Rogue One, a Star Wars, So if you look up Star Wars Lost Stars or just Lost Stars, Claudia Gray, it will in fact be the first picture, or what do you call it, link that comes up in your social media feeds. But treat yourself to the paperback or the hardcover. I don't know if it's available in hardcover, as a matter of fact, but buy the paperback, read it. You will not want to. It's one of those books where I said to myself, this is one, and I don't say this about a lot of books, this is one I just couldn't put down.
I like those kind of books. Yeah, I mean, everybody does.
It's like those TV series, on streaming services. You got to wait 6 months before the new season drops, right? I don't want to wait. I want to keep reading. I want to keep going. I want to keep going. You know why? Because the story is so good that I don't want to end this on a cliffhanger. I want this to keep going, man. Because I could read this for 8, 10, 12 years. I don't care how long it is. It's been very, very good to me. Star Wars books, very, very good to me. Claudia Gray, very, very good to me.
I will definitely give that one a read.
Please.
My personal favorite that I've probably read the most in my life is Pillars of the Earth by Ken Follett, who is an actual historian, and I love him. That's a long one, but I've read it like 6 times.
Well, how long is it? Can you give me a length here? Do we know how long it is? Is it on the shelf somewhere in our backstage area of the studios? I don't know if it is or not. All right, so how thick is this? How many pages are we looking at here? How many is this?
We're looking. Sorry, my chair got caught on my
chair. Yeah,
my chair got caught on the little plastic thing.
So yeah, Pillars of the Earth. I've heard a lot about it though over the years. And wasn't it adapted as a TV series at one point?
Stars did, but I will say for those of you who have seen the TV, 973 pages.
That is 300 pages more than the book I'm currently reading, which is called Zeta 5 Path of the One by R.D. Marino, which is a sci-fi fantasy book, which is written in the vein of Dune meets Star Wars meets Stargate SG-1.
Yeah, it's Pillars of the... I'm a huge history buff, and this is medieval England, 1100s.
Ooh, I like
good
that.
Stuff, and it's all historically accurate. Now he takes some real life characters like King Stephen, Queen Maud, Matilda, blah blah blah. Oh yeah. But the main characters, they're all pretend. But he's taking what was happening during those times. Again, I love his accuracy, and he's a masterful. I love Ken Follett. I read a lot of his books. I've read the whole Kingsbridge series.
Really?
This is technically I have the whole thing.
Do you?
But yeah, The Armor of Light was the one I just finished in the Kingsbridge series, which takes place during the Industrial Revolution, late 1700s, early 1800s. Battle of Waterloo is one of the big finales in the end of that. That one's all of his books are like 900 pages, but they're so good. The first time I read Pillars of the Earth, I finished it inside of a week.
What?
I could not put this thing down.
So it keeps you riveted throughout. Like you want to keep turning the page. You
are engrossed.
Really?
You like would not go to sleep, kind of engrossed. And I've reread it. And again, the Star series, because they did that and World Without End, they also did, which is the next book that's 1300s with King Edward, that blah, 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 blah.
How was it?
That one's also very good. Pillars of the Earth and The Evening and the Morning, which is the prequel.
Oh, there's a prequel to this. Okay.
There is. Yeah. This one, when was it written?
I don't know a whole lot about this. I've heard Pillars of the Earth over the years, but I just don't know a whole lot about it. That's why I'm asking you all these inquisitive questions.
It's excellent. I strongly recommend. It's one of my favorite books of all time. And you learn.
You learn, guys.
Learning is kind of essential. It looks like it was originally published in 2002. Oh no, I'm sorry, 1989. This is a 2002 edition.
I was just a baby when this came out, lads.
Yeah.
I was just a baby.
I wasn't quite at this reading level yet, but
no, I don't think Hollis and I were even ready for what a book would become. So it's
no. I was reading novels.
Oh, were you?
I was in second grade in 1989.
Okay. I couldn't read at that point, if you know what I'm saying. But a couple years later, I started reading these books called Frog and Toad and Curious George.
Oh, yeah, I
which
know. I
is
was reading novels. I was in second
mhm.
grade,
Okay,
but
so there was Frog and Toad. There was what was the other one? There's Curious George. And what were the other books I was reading? I was reading a lot of children's books at this time, written by Gail Gibbons. Who, if we ever
okay.
get a chance to have Gail Gibbons on this program, that would be a huge honor for me because I read so many of her books when I was a wee lad, and I would like to get her on here just to say, hey, what was it like writing this book over here, or this book over there, and this book over here, and this book over there? But you know what else is fascinating to me is this episode of And I Quote with the guest of honor, Hollis Jo McCollum. Do not forget to like and share if you're watching us live on the replay. Hello there. And if you have any questions for our guest, because Lord knows she's more important than I am, let us know in the comments. Let us know in the chat. And by the way, you're within the last 24 hours, you're the second person who's mentioned Pillars of the Earth because our good friend, Terrence Lehue, who's an indie author himself, he tends to write period pieces written in the what was it, Terrence? The Mitch Mayhew and The Unwanted Passenger is written in the 1920s, I want to say. It's about an aviator, kind of like Cliff Secord with The Rocketeer kind of thing. So he writes pulp adventure novels, and one of the things he said was that this month for him, he calls it Joust January, which means he's going to be celebrating books of, jousting, medieval times, knights, maybe not so much swashbucklers, but people like Ivanhoe, people like Robin Hood, knights, I'm assuming
It fits in there nicely. Yeah.
someone posted on his or commented down below of his Instagram post saying, hey, what are some of your favorite stories that are within the Joust January genre? And one person said The Pillars of the Earth by Ken Follett. And I'm like,
Though technically, jousting wasn't a really big deal then in the 1100s. It didn't get to be more of a big deal until
when was
we're
this?
talking like into the 13 to 1600s.
Was it?
But I mean, it was around, but it wasn't like popular. It was really popular in the 1500s, that kind of thing. But so the Column of Fire, which is the technically the fourth book in the Kingsbridge series, because like anyway, that one takes place in the Elizabethan era of England, Tudor Elizabethan era, it starts in 1548, ends in like 1609, because he goes over like a whole generation with his books. And you follow somebody growing up and living their life and all of that. But jousting was really huge in the 1500s. Tudor era England was like, yay, joust. I mean, that's how a lot of the Tudor kings like if Henry VIII hadn't gotten that head injury, he might not have become such a serial killer, Who knows?
The head injury. Okay, I see where you went there. But still,
no, he had a head injury in a jousting game, and that's when he turned. When he was still married to Anne Boleyn.
Oh, okay, that was when that was happening.
His personality actually changed. He got anyway. I won't get into history now.
I was going to say I didn't. Well, your history. It's very good. I'll never forget that.
He was never a good person, shall we say? But
I'll never forget that. Yeah,
he probably wouldn't have gone on to do what he did if he hadn't sustained that head injury, is kind of the general thought consensus.
I was going to say, understood completely. My gosh. Wow. Okay. Well, what was it? The Pillars of the Earth is going to be added to our 1,000-mile TBR list. So thanks.
You got to do it.
Yeah.
It'll go quick. It's a lot of pages, but it'll go so fast.
You're sure about that?
Inside of a week, I finished it the first time. Trust me.
All right.
You got this.
And this is coming from somebody, and I work a full-time job here. So if I'm able to schedule the time and get this done, we can. All right. Well, you and I will swap some notes here. And
you just got to. I just read before bed every night. That's how I ended up getting my reading back. Because for a while I had to balance the reading and the writing. Yeah. And when I first started writing, it was taking all of my reading time, and I had to figure it out. So I just decided, all right, this is the bedtime activity every night before I go to sleep. I just have the book on my nightstand, and this is reading time. And that's it.
That is actually not bad. One of my plans for this year, ladies and gentlemen, here at Anti-Quote Studios, one of our plans for this year is to get up a little bit earlier in the morning so I can do my writing for about an hour and a half each day. And then at night, come home and read for 2 to 3 hours.
That's lovely.
So that's the plan for 2026, Hollis. Please wish me luck with that. I hope I can enact this plan starting next week, now that it's going to be the first full week of January, because right now we're kind of in the in-between, ending one year, the beginning of the next. Excuse me for saying, but it's true.
Yeah.
So just give me a little bit of time here and we'll get that Hooji Baba rolling. So that's That's fascinating. Pillars of the Earth. Okay, well, hey, Terrence, this is the second time that the Pillars of the Earth by Ken Follett's been mentioned. So we're doing something right here, fellas. We're doing something right. And feel free to give Terrence at Terrence Lehue or at suit up dash author on Instagram, because Terrence writes books called One Man's Treasure, which is a great treasure hunting story. That is a great treasure hunting novel. And then he just came out with Diamonds in Denver, which is a Mitch Mayhew story set in the Roaring 20s. He's Mitch Mayhew is an aviator carrying the mail, but he finds out he gets more than he bargained for. Hence the reason there are diamonds being smuggled to Denver in that story. So find out more, and also check out his podcast. It's called Suit Up the Podcast.
He's a fan of How I Met Your Mother, isn't he?
He probably is. Yes. He may have mentioned the word legend. Wait for it. Dairy. So, if you want to, if you're a fan of pulp adventure type stories like The Rocketeer or The Phantom, or treasure hunting and going after a treasure with pirates on your tail, kind of adventurous type stuff, look up Suit Up the author on Instagram, and then also look up T. Lehue on Instagram. And then another thing you should do is check out the Men's Adventure Fiction podcast, which is how I was connected with Terrence Lehue, as well as many other great indie authors out there. These are our friends here. Yeah, the Men's Adventure Fiction podcast drops a new episode every single Wednesday on YouTube and Spotify and wherever you download your, friendly neighborhood podcasting platforms, Hollis. And this is just a slither of some of the books that they have out. So they have stories called Pull of the Tide, Dinner for One, Lady Evil, which is a steampunk, futuristic sword and sorcery type story. You got Sunrise Over the Valley and the Longwood Trail, which are in the Western theme genre. And then Cherry Blossoms by Midnight is a noir detective like Sam Spade from the Maltese Falcon type story. And then what's that one at down the bottom? The Hound and the Scorpion is a military fiction.
Oh, the helicopter.
Yeah, The Hound and the Scorpion is a military. I believe it's military fiction. Am I right? Veritas Entertainment, who published all these wonderful books? I think I am. So check out Veritas Entertainment. They're a very good publisher. They got a lot of great young, up and coming, talented authors out there. I think you would like them.
No, I've met them at Multiverse. They were at they had a table at Multiverse, I think. Or
really,
I met somebody who was of Veritas.
Was it Casey Morgan or was it Nate Hummel?
Casey.
It was Casey. Casey was there. There you go. See, yeah. Casey, your name is getting out there, brother.
Yeah, I was only there for one day this year, but it was fun. But yeah, I did my rounds. I went to the tables. I saw some people. I chit chatted. Yes. After I did my panels.
So in other words, you were networking.
I was networking, and then I got really distracted talking to my good friend Bob Magoo. Who, do you know Bob?
No, I don't. Bob. But can you tell us more about him?
Okay, well, that's his real name, Bob Magoo.
Go ahead.
He writes a wonderful fantasy series about a meth-addicted wizard with a possum familiar, and he is fantastic. I love Bob so much. He has talesbybob.com, and he has like a dozen different podcasts. He is very forthcoming also about like what it is to be an indie author and numbers. And I believe, Bob, correct me if I'm wrong, that his degree is in anthropology. I know he's an academic, and I believe he's an anthropologist, and he's super fun to talk to. He's very Southern, from Montgomery, Alabama, and I love Bob. And Ben Meeks as well, who writes RPG Lit and some really cool like dark fantasy horror stuff that I love. His work with werewolves and like were otters.
There's a such thing called were otters. I'm shocked.
Oh, Ben made one. Yeah, and it's fantastic. Ben Meeks and Bob Magoo, they usually share a booth and Richard Fierce hangs out with them as well. That's another person I've mentioned. Yeah, they're great guys. But anyway, I enjoy chatting with them a lot. Whenever we're, in the same town, I always make a point to hang out with them. And I did miss one of it wasn't a panel, thankfully. It was like a meetup that I was supposed to be at. And I was talking with Bob and Ben and Richard and did not go. But that happens a lot. They were more fun.
Goodness gracious. Is there anyone who doesn't have fun at these types of events? I mean, I've been going to conventions 13 years. I've had some fun around, and certain conventions, of course, stand out more so than others, whether it's the Awesome Cons, the Ranger Stations, or what was the other one we've gone to? We've gone to Fan Expo in Philadelphia.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Fan expos are always good, and then
And
the comic cons because they have Atlanta, Denver, all the different comic
GalaxyCon.
cons. Those are really fun.
GalaxyCon is
Um,
another one, right? There's GalaxyCon
oh yeah,
Richmond.
yeah.
There's
GalaxyCon,
GalaxyCon in
MomoCon if
Raleigh,
you want
North
to get into
Carolina.
anime, and yeah.
Yeah.
But I think honestly, occasionally you will run into a sourpuss, but those people generally don't come back. If they're not having a good time, they just won't come again. And very
That's
occasionally will you run into somebody who's
right.
just
Not the
not
most
into it,
cooperative. Yeah.
just being a sourpuss or whatever.
Yeah, that's it. That was where we were that was what we were looking for. Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, we can yeah, that colloquialism is probably a nice way to put it.
It's a diplomatic way of saying it. Is there anyone you look forward to meeting at conventions that you haven't spoken with or met yet? Is there someone on
Ooh.
your dream list that you're like, "Oh my gosh, I must have a conversation with this individual"?
Oh gosh. At this point in my life, I mostly just look for people I've already met.
Really? Okay.
Um, yeah, because I know that, because they're my friends. I
'Cause you
have
know
met
everybody.
Yeah, I've met a lot of the actors, because as we mentioned in the green room, I'm a former professional cosplayer, and so, like, in the late '90s and early 2000s, when I was a teenager in my very early 20s, I I was in the green room at the cons with the celebrity, like, I've met some cool people, and I'm trying to think. There are definitely people out there that I haven't gotten to meet yet, and Harrison Ford is one of them. I would love to meet Harrison Ford.
Han Solo / Dr. Jones himself.
Yeah, absolutely, and, though he doesn't like to do public events, and I can't say that I blame him,
Yeah.
he's not a, public event kind of person, but he is somebody that I would. Ooh, Paul Giamatti. I wanna meet Paul Giamatti. I love Paul Giamatti so much.
In the words of his character from Billions, good. That's good. That's good. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
he's
I've known
he's so
Paul
fantastic.
professionally oh my gosh, for years. He's done so much. Cinderella Man,
Mhm.
know,
He does. He is somebody who has an infinite range, it seems.
Big Fat Liar with Frankie Muniz and Amanda Bynes.
Lady in the Water. I
Lady
love
what I don't like that movie particularly, to be perfectly honest with you. That movie was a waste of everyone's time and talent, in my opinion, from M. Night
Oh, man,
Shyamalan to
I
Ding
thought it
Dong,
was so
but
fun. I enjoy that
no,
one.
it was a horrible movie. I
Okay,
will
well,
say this,
we
though,
disagree.
M. Night
Okay.
Shyamalan Ding Dong did give us Unbreakable, all right? And Unbreakable is a great freaking flick. So if you've
He
never
gave us
seen Unbreakable by M. Night Shyamalan Mama, go and see Unbreakable, okay? Because that, and then you see the one that comes right after it with Split, James McAvoy. Oh my dear heavens. James McAvoy, this is a kid who goes from playing Professor Xavier in a rebooted X-Men series of movies, which, by the way, he killed it in those movies. Even if the movie was bad, he was still good in it.
James McAvoy is
McAvoy
good in everything, regardless of how good the
I've
script
known
is.
James for some years now, and I got to tell you, he gave an Oscar-worthy performance as Xavier in Days of Future Past. That's how good he was. And First Class, too, should be in the discussion. I think he gave Oscar-worthy performances in those two films, respectively. But when he did Split, and he's playing 30 different people in one movie for the span of 2 hours, all right? 2 hours, Hollis, 2 hours.
Oh, no, I've seen it. It's fantastic.
I thought to myself, okay, this guy goes from playing one of the most iconic comic book characters of all time to 2 minutes later, he's playing a bipolar serial killer. And I'm thinking to myself, why didn't he get an Oscar for this? Honestly, James McAvoy is the man. If I saw James walking down the street right now, I'd be like, James, bro, your Professor Xavier is just... I mean, Patrick Stewart is great. There's no doubt.
Oh,
I mean, he's Picard for Pete's sake. But but you, as a younger iteration of Xavier, like, you just nailed it, brother.
Yeah.
Like, honestly.
Yeah. No, he absolutely did. And no, yeah, you know what? Actually, I would love to meet Sarah Michelle Gellar. I would love to meet
Buffy Summers, get out of town.
Yeah. I mean, and she's a great actress anyway. I like she honestly, because
I Know What You Did Last Summer. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and she's done a lot of indie work as well that I love. And she was like Krista and the Now Girls in a really dark comedy.
I don't remember that one, but she was the voice of Seventh Sister in the Star Wars Clone Wars / Rebels animated series, which I thought was really cool because her husband, Freddie Prinze, was Kanan Jarrus. So,
Yeah. Yeah, they're a fun. I think they're probably a really fun couple, quite frankly. And yeah, and I follow her Instagram, and she's
Yeah.
like super fun. And yeah, she's one. I don't follow a whole lot of celebrities, but like
Which
the
we
ones that I
get.
want to meet, yeah, I pay attention.
No, I like to shake hands and have a conversation with SMG. You kidding me? I mean, Buffy aside, I'd be like, hey, just out of curiosity, what was it like being a part of the Star Wars galaxy for a couple of years with Rebels?
Hey,
Because
well, and
you
let's
know,
not forget that she was the one, like, she was that little 4-year-old in the Burger King commercial that incited the first fast food lawsuit over copyright infringement over like mudslinging.
wait a minute. She was in a commercial that came about with a copyright lawsuit. I did not know this.
Yeah. So she was there was a Burger King commercial, and it was the first commercial. And she was 4 years old, and she was just a
What?
little kid that was in the commercial,
I didn't know
where
this.
Burger King specifically said, well, we frame grill our burgers unlike McDonald's. And
Oh,
it
so
was
when they
the
dropped the
first
word.
time in history, in marketing history or whatever,
Wow.
that a fast food chain specifically called out another one, and there was a
competition.
lawsuit. Obviously, McDonald's was like, "Whoa," like,
I did not know this.
but she was the kid. She was 4 years, and I love, and she was on soap operas. She was, I forget which one it was, but
Was
she
it General
had a
Hospital?
long run on soap operas before Buffy.
Was it
as a
General
teen.
Hospital, maybe? Or
No, it was like Days of Our Lives.
Oh,
Or it
maybe
wasn't
in Days of
Little
Our Lives.
Hospitals.
Yeah, the
No,
other
but
one.
she's honestly a phenomenal actress. And I mean,
I'll give her credit.
yeah, no, she really is. She has a really great range and frankly, very funny. I don't think people give her all the comedic timing props that she deserves.
Sarah, we need you to have a comeback tour. Honestly, let's get her back on the set. Let's hang out with her and do some work on some projects together. I think that'd be cool.
We'll see. Yeah, maybe she'll regale us with some funny stories. And
I know.
And I hear that a lot of the actors from Buffy still hang out and like are good friends.
James,
so.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've met.
James
I had a great conversation with James Marsters one time. You know what I did? I walked up to him this is when it was called Wizard World Philadelphia, before Fan Expo came along.
Right.
And bought him out. So Wizard World Philadelphia was taking place in the city of brotherly love. It's the city that loves you back. It's always sunny in Philadelphia. Anyway, so I go up to Philly and I see James. I said, James, what was it like working on Smallville as Brainiac? Because Smallville is my #1 favorite show of all time. And he says, do you want to know how I got the part of Brainiac? I said, yes, I'd love to hear how you got the part. He's like, well, I was watching the show at the time, and I really liked what they were doing. I liked their vision for the show. So I actually approached Miles and Al, the creators of the series, said, hey, I really like what you guys are doing. Do you think you could find a part for me? Because I would really like to participate. I really like your program. And they wrote Brainiac into the show specifically for James. Now, Brainiac has been a classic comic book character for many years, and the different iterations of Superman, because that's one of Superman's greatest enemies. But he pitched himself to the executives and said, hey, I really want to be in this. He says, all right, we'll bring you in as this character. You're Milton Fine, but you're actually going to turn out to be Brainiac in like 10 episodes.
Hell yeah.
So,
see, that's how you do it. That's how you do it. People don't always understand. Like, you don't need someone to open a door for you.
No, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Yeah, you just show up. Like I always tell people when I always tell people this. I used to work. So my alma mater, that Kennesaw State University that I graduated from, I was the immigration officer for the campus for 7 years, and that's where I did my work there. But I would always tell my students, just ask, because when I was a student and I wanted to graduate, and the classes, I was in one of those situations where I only had one class left to graduate. And I had time to take it in that semester, but they weren't offering it in that semester. And I had to wait like a whole semester just to take one class, which was stupid, and I didn't want to. And so I went to the director, or the dean of the department, and I just said, if I study and pass the final exam for this class, will you give me credit for it so I can graduate now instead of 6 months from now and like spend all this extra money that I don't need to spend? Like, can I do that? And he looked at me and he was like, if you can pass that final, then yes, I will give you class credit and you can graduate this semester instead of waiting an entire semester to do it. And I did. Boom. It wasn't in the things. Just ask. Ask the right person who has the power to give you what you want. Worst case scenario, you're back at square one. No big deal. Just do it.
Yeah, pull a Nike once in a while. Just do it.
Just do it.
I mean, we've heard that for how many years has that Nike ad been out for? Like 45 years. Just do it. And then Shia LaBeouf comes in, in the 2010s, and he does that green screen thing for some college, wherever it was, and he says, "Just do it. Make your dreams come true." You know what I'm saying?
I actually don't remember that one.
You don't remember this? Okay,
No,
I'm going to text you. I'm going to text you the video, the original video clip of Shia LaBeouf's full beard, more full than this one, just standing there with a pair of jeans, t-shirt, and a pair of boots, and saying, "Just do it."
Okay.
Just do it. Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday, you said tomorrow. So just do it.
No, if you want it, just go for it. Yeah, I also created an internship that.
Did you?
Oh yeah. The university actually still has it. I created it in 2005, but they still run it because it was so successful.
Wow.
But I didn't like any of the internships that were available for my degree.
At the time,
and so I again went to the chair of the department, and I said, "Well, I would like to do this internship." And he looked at me, and I wanted to study abroad in Italy again. So I was like, "So it'll be like this," and and I'm a half Italian, and anyway, so I had some insiders information, and I said, "I would just like to be an intern on the study abroad for Italy and help people with the language barrier. And I'll write a guidebook for the professors and students to use on the study abroad in the future." And And he was like, "Write me a proposal." So I wrote a proposal. They approved it. I got paid. It was a paid internship. Published the book. I guess that was the first time I was published, 2005, Kennesaw State University Library. And they still have that internship in practice today, and they have extended it for other study abroad programs to have interns because it was helpful to have an intern. So yeah, and if I just accepted the internships that were available, like most people do, if I had never asked, I never would have gotten it. Just go, just ask. Not a big deal. If you really want it, you'll get it.
She's right. It's you got everything to gain and nothing to lose, really. So
Yeah.
That's another way of looking at it. Once again, this is I quote with the guest of honor, Hollis Jo McCollum. Don't forget to like and share. If you have any questions, let us know in the chat. Who is an author, living or dead, you'd love to have a conversation with, and why?
Oh. I'm going to go deep, and we're going to pretend language barriers don't exist.
Sure,
Okay.
why not?
Okay. Herodotus, father of history.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. I want to go all the way back there. I want to ask him questions. I want to know, was this real? Were you just, because Herodotus, he's the father of history, but there's a lot that he wrote that we're not sure if he was spinning a tale or if he was recording fact, because he did both. And I would like to clarify some things.
Talk about investigative journalism. Yeah. Oh, would you find out, Lois? Sorry, there's my DC throw-in for good measure. What'd you find out, Lois? Yeah.
Well, because he wrote about the Amazons, the mythical women, and for years we thought that was a myth. But then there was a 4,000-year-old gravesite found with the exact same woven patterns and everything else and DNA and Long story short, the Amazons were real. They did not cut off their breasts to shoot bow and arrows better or anything like that. But they were a tribe of warrior women. And what that ended up happening, very, very fiated version, is they ended up kind of traversing across, what is now Turkey and Greece, and going into Mongolia. And they did DNA testing years ago. And there are blue-eyed, blonde-haired people in the Mongolian tribes because the Amazons of the ancient world, this tribe of warrior women, went there and settled there and interbred. And the DNA from the grave sites that we found of these actual Amazonians, which we confirmed via the accounts of Herodotus and through pottery, we were actually able to precisely match the woven patterns on the Grecian pottery that we thought they were just no, these were the actual patterns that because they were matching exactly what was in the graves and everything else. And their DNA is in the Mongolian tribes of today.
Wow. The
Which I
more
think
you know, honestly.
ridiculously cool. So the Amazons were real, not exactly as they are in all the stories. Obviously, it's been heavily embellished over the years, but they were real.
So they're not the same as the Amazonian warriors I remember from Themyscira with Wonder Woman and Diana Prince, but okay.
No, unfortunately not.
That's okay.
And
That's
they're
okay.
definitely not from like the multiple television series we've seen.
Yeah, Linda Carter this, not Linda Carter that. Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah. And even just like random,
Gal Gadot.
pop-ups and like Xena, Warrior Princess and stuff like
that's
that.
another one,
Not
yeah.
those Amazons either.
Sorry.
Though they do make good story devices. It is not the same, but they were a matriarchal tribe that did not keep, as far as we know, they were matriarchal, but like men were allowed, like it was fine.
Okay, so if Steve Trevor showed up one day, they'd be cool with it. They wouldn't just kill him off the island.
No, they didn't just do that. No, they were a matriarchal society, but they did like everybody got to play. It was fine.
Yay! Everybody gets to play in the sandbox with their toys. Where did they get the toys? With that being, gee willikers.
Yeah. Anyway, I digress.
No, honestly, I mean, I don't mind the history lessons because most of us didn't really pay attention in history class as a kid, so I may have missed a couple of things, but. This is
history
fascinating.
class doesn't teach us a lot of things.
Yeah, that's another thing too. They only keep it to one specific, what do you call it? Time period, little era, part of the country, whatever it is.
Well, not just that, but the publishers of the textbooks that most of us learned from were highly biased.
Oh, okay, well, there's that too. So let's not forget.
Yeah. We don't need to get into all of that.
That's another tangled web that somebody else can weave, not me,
Yes.
and not us. Let's just put it that way. What is a book that belongs on everyone's bookshelf that is not one of your own?
Oh, okay. For a second, I was like, I own so many books, Ryan. Not one that I wrote.
It's not one of your, like, for example, not the Raashan series. So if someone has to, if there is one book that belongs on every single human being's bookshelf on this planet, what is a book that belongs on everyone's bookshelf that is not one of your own?
You know what? I think.
Oh boy, this is getting very interesting here, folks.
I think I'm gonna go with The Count of Monte Cristo by Edmond Dante.
Alexander Dumas. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You know who else would agree with you right now? Terrence Layhew is a diehard Count of Monte Cristo fan.
It sounds like Terrence and I should have a conversation.
You and Terrence, who, by the way, he's a great friend of ours and runs Suit Up the Podcast. You can find it on podcasting platforms everywhere today. What's up, Terrence? We're plugging your stuff, brother. He has been telling us for a long time in this writers' Discord that myself, Terrence, and a lot of other writers are in together. For those of you who are new to social media, Discord is an app you can put on your phone, and you can do texting or voice chatting with people discussing a similar topic, which in this case, we like to discuss writing and books, things that inspire us, things that we would like constructive feedback on. We post our stories in certain threads of the Discord so we can get feedback on the rough drafts, the first, the second drafts, the third drafts, whatever it is. And people would give us, feedback for that. And I appreciate all of you.
You can do video chats on there too. I meet once a week with a group on Discord. Yeah. Via video chat. Mm-hmm.
And is this a writer's Discord that you're in, or what is this?
No, it's a coven.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Then I will not touch that one with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah.
But sorry. Didn't mean to get graphic there for a second, but I digress. So the Count of Monte Cristo, why?
Not only is it a beautiful tale, beautifully written, but it is hyper intelligent and a good example of the human experience, wherein unfair things definitely happen. Oh yes. And I do love a good revenge story, and it's brilliant. And I'm sorry if you watched the movie that came out in like 2000 something or other. It's
2003, I think it was.
No, don't know. It is
you don't
not.
You don't like the Jim Caviezel Guy Pearce version?
It is not the book.
It's
I
very
wanted
glossy,
to.
isn't it? Don't they gloss over a lot of things?
Fine. I don't know. No problem with the actors or the production quality or anything. They disrupt the plot in the intention of the book. And so I hate that movie.
Wow. Okay.
Because
Well,
it's not. It's the intention is
yeah.
wrong.
Terrence likes the
The
movie.
ending is completely different.
That's fair.
Absolutely not.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
And
Terrence.
and that the ending is different
Yeah.
actually disrupts the entire point of the story. And they leave out the whole part with the baby. Anyway, there's a lot of very important devices in the book that play into things, and also some of his best revenge that they left out so many good parts. They left out the important bits, and I'm not going to spoil the ending, but it's wrong.
Because I haven't read the book yet.
Oh God, you will hate the movie after you've read the book.
Well, unfortunately, I've seen the movie. I liked the movie for what it was, but I've never read the original source material.
Okay, so my best friend, that's actually one of her favorite films. She's never read this book.
Really?
I read this book for the first time in high school, and then the movie came out when I was like very early college, I think. But I was really excited to see the movie because it's one of my favorite books. And then I saw the movie, and I was like, I will not say the expletives that ran through my mind. I was livid, shall we say? Absolutely irate. Terrible. And my best friend, who has never read the book and won't ever read the book because she loves the movie too much now, she was like, it's in. I was like, no, if you read the book, you will hate that film. And she was like, oh. Years later, her husband was like, we love this movie so much, I'm going to read the book. And I warned him, I said, Joey, you're going to end up hating that film and you won't be able to watch it with her anymore. I'm warning you. And he was like, I don't think that'll happen. Guess what happened? He hates that film so much now because no, visceral hatred for the film if you know the book. Okay. And he now refuses to watch the movie with her.
I hope, well, at least you kind of derailed
she's mad at me, but that's okay.
At least you derailed things between a book and a movie adaptation. At least the marriage didn't end completely over.
No, the marriage is fine. No, but
thank goodness, because I was going to say,
she was like, did you lend him your copy of The Count of Monte Cristo? I was like, he's wanted to read it. I warned him he would hate the movie if he did. Yeah. And she said, I can't believe you let him read it. I was like, well, you should read it too and enlighten yourself, because the book is 1,000 times better. It is hyper intelligent, and the movie not only dumbs down the entire intention and plot of the book to such an, I'm sorry, I'm very passionate about it.
It's okay.
This book is highly important.
Is it? How many pages is that? How many pages? Huh? Isn't it over 1,000?
Oh, no. It's 513.
It is 513. Okay, because I was under the impression, for some reason, I saw a version of it on social media that said it was like 1,000 pages long. It's like, how can that book be 1,000 pages?
No. This is, as far as I know,
is that the Barnes & Noble Classic version?
This is the Barnes & Noble Classic.
Yeah, what's up, BNN?
Yeah.
We see you.
Yeah, this one was like, this is my copy. This is over 20 years old. This book.
Oh my goodness! So it's had some mileage on it. Yeah.
Yeah. No, as you can see, I'm one of those people. I don't bend the binding in my books.
You don't bend the binding at all?
No.
Okay.
I have a way that I read them.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I don't care how long the book is.
You don't care.
I don't care. There's no dog earing. There's no. This book is actually at least 25 years old.
I was going to say, it looks in very good condition from this side of the fence. Do you see what I'm saying? I mean, I'm looking at this on our big screen right now, and it looks very nice, healthy, and looks like it looks
brand new. Yeah. Over 25 years old, and I've read it several times.
Can you clone that and send me a copy of it, please, so I can read it? Because I'd like to read it. Because honestly, you've convinced me, because I know Terrence has been championing this book for a long time. Terrence, we see you, man. But I just thought to myself, the book, I saw a page length and I got really terrified because I'm like, man, my attention span can only go between 250 and 300 pages a book. But if the book is riveting and it keeps me turning the page, then I won't necessarily care about the page length. For a perfect example, let me give you an example here. So Zeta 5 Path of the One, written by R.D. Marino, who was on this very program a couple weeks ago. Hi, R.D. Hope everything's well in your neck of the woods. And congratulations on your cover reveal for Zeta 5, The Window Splitters, which is part 2 of his trilogy. It's like I said, it's part of the Zeta 5 series. So I look at this book, and it's 630 some odd pages long, and I thought to myself, how on earth did he make this 630 pages when he could have made it 300? But then when I'm reading through it, because I'm in the process of reading this right now, this is full disclosure. And I'm reading it, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, this is making me turn the page. This is really good. I'm liking this. You're introducing the characters slowly but surely. You're not giving away too much in the beginning. Like it's all set up, right? He's basically planting the seeds for what's to come in either the later chapters or the, like I said, he's coming out with a sequel called Zeta 5, The Window Splitters. So I'm thinking, this is a good character piece because you're talking about the relationship between the fathers and the sons and their mothers, but then you're also talking about how the sons have a love interest. Both sons have two different love interests, and how they're going to be able to spend time with their loves of their lives while they're also serving their kingdom. So it's kind of like, well, how do we balance this? Do you see what I'm saying? How do we balance all that? Well, like, how do you balance between duty, honor, true love, but then you also got a threat of a planet that's about to cave in on itself?
Well,
you know
and let's also not be intimidated by page counts because, as an example,
give me an example.
My book, To Save a World.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Yeah.
How big is it?
So.
How many pages?
So how many pages? It is about, I think it's 592.
That's less than R.D. Marino's book. I like that.
However, I do all of my own page layouts, and I'm a designer. So I have pronunciation guides and full page maps and all of these graphics.
That's a map.
Every single chapter is a graphic, a full page. And then at the end, I have more graphics and everything. And this all adds to the page count. So keep that in mind when you are, and I also do the thing where all of my chapters start on the right side. So like you have your chapter graphic.
There's the chapter.
And then everything starts on the right side. So you have a blank page. So when you see a thick book, don't necessarily get intimidated because if this book didn't have all the graphics and maps and things that I put in it, it would be around 420-ish pages, 425 maybe.
That's not bad, actually. I can handle my brain power, because I have a very specific type of brain. My brain power could probably handle it. It just depends on,
Yeah,
I gotta start reading it first. I gotta get into the feel of it.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying, because and I don't have complicated family trees in my stories, but I have read books where I was very grateful, number one, but especially they had a full page spread that could have been a pop-up folded out map of a family tree that frankly you needed to reference during the book. Because of just the complicated, these are mostly historical text, but when you're complicated, okay, so they're there, that's the brother, uncle, and the, whatever. But a lot of stories have this fun front loading, especially great fantasy novels, because those of us who get super into world building, which I teach world building workshops and seminars and things like that. I'm teaching another one January 24th at Phoenix and Dragon Bookstore in Sandy Springs, Georgia. So come to that. We do map making. I talk about not just the world and the map itself, but the culture, the climate, the religions, what lives there, what kind of species do we have, everything. And I dig into it deeply. When you have all that kind of world building and you include pronunciation guides because you're kind to your readers, that in my case tacks on a couple hundred pages because I also put chapter graphics at every single chapter.
Well, that'll definitely make something or a story stand out amongst the crowd. Let me just put it to you that way. For someone who wants to attend your workshops, do you also offer, is it possible you offer virtual ones for those who can't make it down to the great state of Georgia to attend these? I have held virtual workshops in the past. This one in Georgia is at the Phoenix and Dragon Bookstore itself. They're really cool. They have they have a lot of events there too. Well, that's good.
They have 4 cats that live there. It's a beautiful bookstore. Absolutely recommend it to anyone. But they have all sorts of events that happen there as well. And they have special rooms just for that. So yeah, that one will be an in-person, but I have actually taught both character development workshop and fantasy world building workshops via Zoom before for Carnegie writers. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely something I have done. I just, if you would like me to teach a workshop in your area or for your organization, let me know. I'm available. I've got the agendas.
She's got the agenda. Okay,
Got
so
agendas.
just get focused. No, but all kidding aside, that's wonderful. That's great that you offer these types of resources to anyone and everyone who's interested in becoming a writer or trying to build their own fantasy world or whatever it may be in the world. So that's dynamite, as one might say.
Well, you got to help because that's the whole point, right? Like we're writers because we want to share with the world.
I don't know everything. I've only been writing for a year, and I definitely don't know everything.
Oh no, neither do I. None of us ever
learning.
could. But
I'm learning.
Yeah, we're all and like I learn a lot. But the whole point of of my workshops is to get you rolling. Get it sparked.
Get the gears turning.
Right. It's a big brainstorming session and it's very hands-on. I have it's like you draw your own maps during which, and I have a lot of different techniques you can use. If you're like, I'm not an artist, it's like, cool, pour a bunch of rice on some paper and trace around it. Boom, you have a map. Congratulations. Like that kind of stuff. But yeah, I think everyone should just investigate. But I'm not lecturing at people. I'm brainstorming with you. I am facilitating your creative process and just helping you organize your thoughts a little bit. That's really what because they're designed to help you. Because some people just need some help organizing their thoughts. They have so many things and they don't know, okay, well, I need to put this bucket here and, and I'm a great organizer. It's something I'm good at. So I'll compartmentalize your life.
There you go. That's another thing Hollis and I have in common. We have type A personalities where we're very organized and like to keep things in a nice, orderly fashion. So hence the reason I was so organized in school that my classmates were coming to me to get the due dates and all this other deadline stuff when we were in school, because they knew that the nerd, the dude over here known as Ryan, would know all his shiznit. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I still do to this day. I can still remember certain classmates of mine coming up to me, and I had my student agenda book that they give us at the beginning of every semester, respectively, but the little bookmark that says today on it.
Mm-hmm.
I remember having that and would always be on the right week at the right time. And people would come to me and say, hey, when is Miss Johnson giving us that test again or whatever? I was like, dude, do you it's on this day at this time. You understand? Like, don't you pay attention? It's really not that hard. Paying attention is free. Writing stuff down in a piece of paper, writing stuff down in what is known as a notebook, Hollis, is free, right?
Right.
Because when you have a notebook, you can write as much as you want in there. I mean, heck, I got notebooks over here on my desk area here in the End I Quote Studios where I write down ideas for stories that I may not be able to write right now, but they're ideas that I want to make sure I don't forget. Yep. So that when I do start writing it, I can go back to those notes, right? You can go back to your notebooks and be like, hey, okay, here's an idea for a story. Let's write this. You see what I'm saying? Oh, wait a minute. Is that your storyboard?
This is a Post-it board.
That's a Post-it note board. Yes.
Yes, of just random thoughts. And
that's what it is? Oh my goodness.
Lists of names that I liked. I heard once or I read and I was like, I like that. And I'll write it down. I'll use it for a random character. And then I have like little quotes that I thought and just random ideas and origami. But when I went to Japan, one of it's a wonderful little group of students asked if they could interview me for their little magazine at the Kitsune Temple in Kyoto, and they were doing like an English project, and I said yes, and then they gave me that beautiful little origami girl.
Look at that.
As a thank you. Yeah, it was lovely. But yeah. I just write down, like, I have a random idea about something like that would be a cool magic trick. Put it on the Post-it board.
Notes. Yeah. Post-it notes, put it on a board, put it somewhere where you can keep it nice and handy or organized, however you may do it. We have these little things here. You can find these on Amazon, # not a sponsor of this show. These little brown notebooks that can fit in your pocket.
Little ledgers or whatever.
You can fit these in your pocket, back pocket. These are because they're also called field notes. So some people sell field notes, but they're kind of big and they're kind of bulky and will be sticking out of your pockets and whatnot. Our good friend Luke Goodish from Veritas Entertainment, go to veritasent.com for more information about this. He suggested, Ryan, if you're going to write ideas down, keep this notebook with you at all times or keep it in your desk somewhere. Because if you have an idea for something, write it down because it's so small that you can keep it with you. Whether you're on the go or if you're just, hypothetically, if you're just sitting at home and you need something to jot something down. And these are what these and I prefer lined pages because I can't write on blank. I need something with lines on it so I can keep my thoughts organized. You see what I'm saying? So if you have a chance to find these books on Amazon, I can send Hollis Jo McCollum over here the link if she wants it. These are nice, handy notebooks. They comes in packs of 10 or 20 and so on and so forth, however you want to go about it respectively. I think the pack of 10 was only $8, maybe $9, something like that, Hollis. So
yeah, something like that. I know exactly what you're talking about.
yeah, I can send you some information on this in the back channel. We can swap notes, as it were. But I do want to take this opportunity to say, what a way to kick off 2026. This has been a more phenomenal episode of And I Quote to kick off the brand new season, the brand new year, mind you, of 2026. Hollis Jo McCollum, thank you so much for being here.
Oh, thank you.
And being a part of this show and sharing some more about your Raashan series, what you have planned for the future, some of the things you hope to see to come, all your 2026 goals and all that kind of jazziness. Now, if someone wants to know more about you, where can they follow you on social media if they want to purchase copies of your books or if they want to learn more about your workshops and so on and so forth?
So the best place to go is Hollis Jo McCollum author.com. That's my website. And from there, you can pivot to anything and everything about me. My homepage is just like, here's the information. You can purchase my books there. You can links to my workshop, everything. It's a very simple website. I make it pretty. Of course, like everything, I designed and built it myself. But you do all of that. Oh, thank you, Ryan. It's and then my Instagram, which is at Hollis Jo McCollum, is pretty much the only social media I'm active on. I only have bandwidth for like one, and that's the one I chose. So that is where I am. Feel free to DM me. There's an email form on my website as well at the bottom of the homepage. Just scroll down and it says I love to communicate, and right there, that comes directly to me. That doesn't like go through random bots or anything, like just goes to my email. And yeah, I would love to chat and chat with you. And my books are great. I'm actually releasing the next book in the Raashan series, the first book in the Raashan Histories trilogy, because I gotta write histories about my world. I have to. It's really important to me personally. So the first book in the Raashan Histories trilogy is coming out in March. It's called The Key. It's also based on a D&D game and one of the first D&D characters I ever created, Chris and Quelvan. So I'm really, really excited to share that one. And my mom says, because she gets to read all of my books before anything goes anywhere. She's actually one of my best editors. My mom says it's her favorite book that I have ever written. So should be great.
Mother knows best.
She does. And she's an avid reader. She doesn't read fantasy. Unless it's my fantasy.
That could be taken a couple of different ways.
Oh yeah,
but,
yeah, no, not like that.
My so fantasy is the following. No. We don't.
No. My wonderful. No, she
fantasy adventure series.
She doesn't read the fantasy genre generally. She's much more of a fiction and like mysteries and crime and things like that. If she's just to choose something, but she honestly loves my books. And The Key, like I couldn't get her chapters fast enough. She usually is a little more patient with me. And she was like, Hollis, I'm your mother. Where's the last chapter? I need it. And I was like, I'm finishing it. And she's like, no, send it to me. She got a little sassy with me.
Gee willikers. The conversations that happen between family members, I'll say. Just one of those things. But thank you so much for being here. I'm going to talk to you here again momentarily, so stick around for us, Hollis. Our wonderful conversation is just not quite over yet. But I will say, for those of you who are watching this, if you see a QR code in the top right-hand corner of your screen, that will also take you to Hollis Jo McCollum's website. We can find out more about her books, sign up for, the newsletter and all that kind of jazziness stuff. So yeah, you're welcome, Hollis. We spare no expense. All right. We spare no expense with these QR codes that we now are able to use here on our StreamYard studios. Just throwing that out there as a for instance, right? Resources help everybody. It's just one of those things. But for those of you who want to know the chaos that ensues with moi, My name is Ryan. Hello there. I am a podcaster and writer. I am the host and producer of this wonderful show, as well as the host and producer of And I Quote channel. Follow me across all forms of social media as simply, where am I pointing to? Where is it? There it is. I'm directions at And I Quote channel. And we are on the road, ladies and gentlemen. I will say we're on the road to 5,000 subscribers on this wonderful, wonderful channel that we've worked so hard to build for the last 6 years now. Can you believe that, Hollis? 6 years of doing this. It's amazing. I'm telling you. But once we reach 5,000, we'll have a live stream celebration that will include special giveaways that you, the incredible person who's watching or listening to these programs, you're going to be eligible to win. And also we got merch because it's the changing of the seasons, folks. We have hoodies, we have shirts, we have coffee mugs, so you can drink your tea, Earl Grey, or whatever kind of tea that Hollis Jo McCollum prefers to drink. We have coffee mugs, we have stickers you can add to your water bottles, Hollis. There you go. There's something for you. It's all in our Redbubble store, which is linked down below in the description of this video. It's also located in the social media link in our bios. It's in our link tree there. We have a Redbubble store. Everything's on sale, folks. So check it out. If you want to know more about my writing, I wrote a short story called Wolf of the West, which was published by Veritas Entertainment as of Western Tales Volume 1, which you can find on Amazon in ebook, paperback, and hardcover. There is a link in the description as well as in our social media bios. So make sure you check that out as well. And boy, what a way to kick off 2026. Gosh, I feel like of all the people we've had on this show in the last 5, almost going on 6 years now, folks, Hollis Jo McCollum has a degree in like every subject matter that's ever been built or something, or everything that's been put together as one. I don't know. But Hollis, you're incredibly smart. You're incredibly awesome-tacular. And you're so money, you just don't even know it. You're like a big bear, Hollis. So with that being said, thank you for joining us on this episode of And I Quote. Once again, And I Quote is on Saturdays, normally at 12 o'clock Eastern Time. And then our movie watch-alongs as other forms of special programming are taking place on Friday nights at 7 o'clock Eastern. We're going to kick off the movie watch-along season on January the 9th with the 30th anniversary of Twister, starring the late, great Bill Paxton. I don't know if you remember that one or not, Hollis. And then the week after that, we're celebrating 30 years of Muppet Treasure Island with Tim Curry. And then after that, it's going to be The Rocketeer and Billy Zane's The Phantom to end the month of January in. So it's going to be a very adventurous, pulp-ish type of month for movie watch along. So check it out on Friday night, 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Do not forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, ring the bell to be notified of when the videos go up or they go live. And remember, life is better when supporting indie creators from all over the world. Take a look.
Is a cursed man, and cursed men are dangerous. He has traveled the known world seeking a way to lift his curse. So far, he has not found what he is looking for. When Trellin arrives in the city of Anshi, in the nation of Paraba, he meets a cold reception. The desert nation is unforgiving. Its people have proven untrustworthy, and the locals have no love for foreigners. Now, a wealthy stranger offers to lift Trellin's curse for a price, and he must make a choice. Seek a solution elsewhere, or risk imprisonment in the Tower of Ruhak, a place from whence no man has ever escaped. The known world of Atera, The Prisoner of Ruhak Tower. Now available on Amazon in paperback and on Kindle.
Mission for the police. A mysterious passenger. Mitch Mayhew is carrying more than the mail this flight. Unwanted Passenger is a roaring, prop-spinning, pulse-pounding historical thriller for fans of aerial stunts, flapper-era intrigue, and reluctant heroes with debts to pay and demons to outrun. Order your copy of Unwanted Passenger today.
There it is. Luckily for you, you won't have to go through half of what I went through to get your copy. All you have to do is place an order. Treasure is My Trade is out now. Don't miss your chance.
Good morning! Oh, and in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.